Yeah, sorry about that, the video cut off, but woman should choose, wisely. Yeah. And you should choose yourself. You should choose growth. Not because somebody would want you to play a role doesn't mean you have to. Yeah. I mean, some of y'all desire submission, and if that's you, you don't have to partake in these videos, Women who who have a sense of autonomy and stand firm in that and would fight to stand in their own autonomy, right? They would more likely to resonate, and that's fine. So, my next pointer. Children are not accessories or livestocks. Not only do they need to be in the authority of responsible individuals, but also they need the training and example of being responsible. Now, this is my perspective, but because my mother had me when she was like in her 30s, but I noticed that when children born of women that are of an older age, they seem to act different, in a sense, to me. I don't know if anyone else has observed that personally, but time and time I've seen how women have neglected their children, and they would like to paint the image that they love their children, but their actions say otherwise. Yeah. And as much as society would demonize women that would choose abortion, I think it's more painful to bring a human being here and just leave them on their own. That experience itself is painful, and there is so much actions that can be done to children that are not physical, that cause more pain, like physical pain, right? And neglect is one of them. Now, when I talk about my experiences with, the people that I've, had, some misfortune events with, now at this time, I've been working on myself to just let go, even more, and to move on even more, you see. Now, I remember how, people treat everybody. Human beings will always remember how they were treated by a certain individual, whether it's good or bad, But, I have to, I speak because, I want to spread awareness to others, because, people would like to paint the image of a reality like it's all, it's all peaches and creams, but a lot of things happen behind the scenes, But when I was around, that so-called mentor, and she knew at the time that I had left anti-natural, because they both know each other, right? Now she showed me that she's not a safe person, because even with her knowing my experiences, some of the things that I went through with anti-natural, she didn't care to protect my peace, right? Because I made it clear that I don't want anything to do with him, but she would bring me into one time I remember we went to this event and he was there, right? And they saw each other. Now I don't know if she knew, but I don't care. But the closeness, she draw even closer to him, knowing, the things that I have went through with him. In another case, she knows that I don't open my space to a lot of males, right? No, she is the opposite of that. And she showed me that she would never respect my boundaries, because I told her even one time that I don't drink, and she tried to force liquor onto me. Now, women should know that, younger women, you should know that anybody crosses your boundaries willingly, that person is out to destroy you. Just know that. Yeah? But I always noticed that she always want me to come around, and sometimes she would bring, a lot of males. She always want to bring males around, because she thinks that males are protectors and they will protect you. But yeah, another incident where, an object of mine was stolen in her household, because she asked me one day if I could stay at her house, and give an eye on her children, which two of them are big enough to look after themselves, and the other one, is still in primary school. Now, I agreed, because I said it was one day. It turned out to not be one day. I end up staying at her place for like 3 fucking days, and it was never even suggested to me, right? Only thing I know, I was there. She keep on saying that she's coming home, and she end up reaching to different parishes, right? Until the 3rd day she finally came home. But I at the time I noticed that she was communicating with her older daughter, right? And it was very secretive, and it's not like any of what they were saying was my business, but you ask me to come at your house to give an eye an eye on your children, and you end up staying out for 3 days, yeah, just to do your pillow talk business, right? I am not a woman that likes to be out, right? Especially at people's homes. I have things to do. Now, she showed me that she doesn't really care about her children, and any chances she get to be free of the responsibility of her children, she's going to be reckless, because that is recklessness. Yeah. She showed me that she hasn't even matured yet. Now, she always said to me that I don't. At the time I was like 25. Yeah. 24, right? Yeah, I was 24 at the time. She said, like, I don't act like normal 24-year-olds. No. I had to take on a lot of responsibilities when I was younger, you know. And I feel like that's why I thrive to be so free right now. Because I've already been through so many things, you know. I've already carried so many weight for others, you see. And I need to just carry my own right now. But this woman showed me that only thing she cares about is sex, right? And how much she can get her back blown out. That's the only thing she cares about. Money and sex. Yeah. Classical Jezebel spirit. And we clash because that is not my energy, right? I don't wish to be like that. And let me mind you, there was a time where she was giving me this speech, like a full-blown fucking speech, emotional and passionate as fuck, voice raised, you know, about the beauty that I have and how I should use it. Use it to do what? I don't desire to use men, right? If they don't have the skills to do a job that I want to be done, I don't see them necessarily, you know, valuable as to be around. Because when they don't have anything to do and they are around, that's a problem. See it? Huge problem. And we can't just have rose-colored glasses on when it comes to pregnancy, right? Because not only is it life-threatening for a child, but it is also life-threatening for us, because that itself, it's a sacrifice, you know. And I think a better those things with them pain there, you see. So, and I tell you, because you know, we think the children is just all innocent, but they're manipulative in a lot of ways, you know. And if you are not mature enough as an adult you will enable a lot of those behaviors in children. Yeah? If you should do like certain studies in schools, you will see that a lot of children are bullies. Like they bully children. Other children, they single them out. And grown adults still do that shit too. You know? Which is just pathetic, you fuck. And this is why I say children are no joke. And I know that the government even don't really have children best interests at heart. Because if they did, they would be more concerned about predators, pedophiles. They would be more concerned about those people that destroy society, because that destroy families. Yeah? The fountain of youth, you corrupt that. And it pained me every time I see something like that, you know. I hear about something like that. And I know some wicked people who, when me hear some people, like sometimes me I walk, you know, man. I mean, as a woman will walk sometimes, you know. I like walking. And we will hear about some incident, you know, like the other day. And I am aware that a lot of people suffer from autism. And that is like somewhat childlike naivety, you know, because you're so genuine that you're not aware of stranger danger, you know. And a lot of people have, you know, a spectrum of autism, and you have others out there that will take advantage of that. It don't matter if the person want to be, you know, an adult or teenager. If they have, you know, this brain structure, this brain function, certain things can happen to them. A lot of injustice can happen to them. And when they speak out, a lot of the times people don't listen to them. People don't fucking listen to them. And then when it escalates, you don't want to say like they are a part of it or they want it, you know. And it's easy to play a blame game than to really look at the problem and to really solve it. It's easy to shame the victims. Yeah, because a lot of victim shaming go on, you know. Yeah. And in a society like this, you can't save no children. We're supposed to ready to go war for we youth them, man. Yeah, make them know say people will stand up for them. Yeah. Children deserve to be, you know, to feel safe. They deserve to have strong authorities around them that would not just protect them but will guide them. Yeah. To benefit, you know, to benefit stages of them life. If you say that right, you know. But yeah, we're going at the next pointer. It is not always necessary to be responsible for others in most cases, but it is always necessary to be responsible for yourself. Now, you always hear a saying that say, parents when we're younger, some of us, if your friend I go jump off a one cliff, you go jump off too. Yeah. Now, some people, they don't realize what they are doing is harmful because it is being done in a group setting. Yeah. And this is where intelligence comes in. The ability to think for yourself. Right? Think for yourself. Don't let others think for you. If something don't feel right within your spirit, you have every right to exclude yourself. Because at the end of the day, as me say, whatever you eat will make you shit. You see it? And you can only encourage a man, whether it want to be on the negative or the positive. You see it? And even in that case, as me say, excuse me, whatever you give your attention to, you give your power to, So certain things you don't try to encourage, especially if you you wouldn't want it for yourself. You see? Some people are just born with certain essence, I get to realize that maybe certain things cannot be taught. You see? At least not by man, but life, though. That's the best teacher. You see? Now, I could complain about all of the things that I've been through, but when I look at myself today, and how I function and how I operate, yeah, I'm grateful, truly. And it's not like the people around me have changed, but I have changed the way I view them, and the things that I partake in with them. So, in some sense, that kind of shifts reality for me, But everything is just everything. And I am going to be me, And sometimes, anger come up because, sometimes you think about the things, it just come up. The thoughts just come. And it will bring back a certain feeling, And you should know that you should be responsible for that feeling, in taking care of that feeling, And once you take care of that feeling, it will just feel like breeze after. I promise you. Don't run from it, you know. Because I'm speaking about, you know, other things that I've been through. But it's not just the ability to express it, but when I do my work, you know, on my shadow, I feel more and more free, you know. And I'm able to just have more joy within myself and peace, you know. And I'm grateful for that. Yeah, we can't change the past, you know. And I have this analogy that I say, you know, life is like a gym. And it gives you weight. You just take it and just build your strength, you know. Exercise yourself. Yeah. But I have like 3 more pointers. I'm going through them quick. But yeah. With true understanding of responsibility, an individual is devoted to their duties and not the codependency of others. Once those duties have been concluded, so has the obligation for overextending oneself. Now, in one of my videos that I did about self-discipline, you know, and I was talking about this old friend. Now, I noticed that friend only knows me when they want something, right? And I noticed that this friend is an opportunist because, and I'm not trying to bash anyone, but the pattern in their behavior, yeah, shows the levels of work that they have done on themselves. And let me mind you, this person is older than me. And yet still, if somebody younger than you inspires you, there's nothing wrong, you know. We all should inspire each other. But the levels of insecurities that I saw in that person, yeah, and just the lack of accountability as well, because this friend was encouraging me to use, you know, another woman, and that ain't my thing, you know. Me is a person I like for have my own. You see, I'm not like I don't like to work with others, but to ride on others' coattail is not my thing. And when I saw that this friend and the mentor are not really women that are upstanding, yeah, to me, with how they think and behave towards others, you see. And the funny thing is, I would try to gracefully leave these people alone, but they seemed to, at the time couldn't stay away. Now, they would want me to do the work and they would take the credit. You see? And I am not up for that. But next pointer. The gaining of knowledge and wisdom allows an individual to take responsibility effectively, which can assume precise results. However, it is an absolute obligation to pass on that knowledge and wisdom, especially to the younger generation. The gaining of knowledge and wisdom allows an individual to take responsibility effectively, which can assume precise results. However, it is an absolute obligation to pass on that knowledge and wisdom, especially to the younger generation. We bash these young females these days, right? And saying, oh, but if you should check history, you had women like that throughout history. You see, women who gave away their babies, who did not so upstanding things, and what? Some of them have grown into so much more, They have grown past those outdated versions of themselves. You see? But before I bash a younger female, I would try to have compassion instead, because life is life, It's not easy for none of us. It's probably better for some, and even worse for some. But I don't know the choices that were presented in her life for her to make the decisions that she made. You see, nobody at all, whether it won't be man or woman, but I just see that this society gives men more grace than women. Trust me, in a lot of ways. And when we complain, they say that we are bitter. Whatever. This is my last pointer. An individual who has poor decision-making skills will become a burden to themselves and others around them. No one can run from responsibility. No. All of those people that I talk about in my videos, I see that the way that they make decisions, it doesn't even benefit them. You see, in the long run, it may look like that, but you have to have vision, foresight, good judgment. And it's not like you can't make mistakes, but what are you doing about it? Are you going to complain, or are you going to correct? Course correct. You see? And this is Some people think that you should be buddy with everybody, but people don't realize how altering it is when you invite somebody else in your world, in your life. You see, it is so life altering. And once you realize that, you would be careful of the people that you let into your life, the people you date, you are friends with. You see, because one wrong move from somebody close to you, it can set you back so far that you never saw it coming. You see? So, yeah, this is it. And I hope this was insightful. I hope this was a good reasoning today. Yeah, so just take care. And don't be afraid to comment, and big up to those who do. Yeah, you're welcome. And I am always open for discussions. You see, I like to reason, because many others have helped me to see things, from a different way. And, as I said earlier in the other half, that, animals, they all have an attribute of the Almighty. You see, and yeah, we also, and we shouldn't be afraid to tap into that. And that attribute is to be creative. Yeah, in your own way, so take care.